Hello, I'm the Angry Spork. 1980s icons collide again on this show when the mean green teens wind up face to face with the guys you call when it don't look good. I'm taking issue with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles / Ghostbusters, written by Eric Burnham and Tom Waltz, with art by Charles Paul Wilson III, Corey Smith, Dan Shaning, Luis Antonio Delgado, and Rhonda Pattison. Let's see if these comics make us want to turn the page or turn our heads. Part 1's cover is a neat scene of the teams paired together, with Donny and Egon in the background looking far more transparent than the others. Maybe they're intangible specters beyond corporeal existence. Some of these matchups make sense. Mikey and Ray, each of them the heart of their respective team with childlike wonderment. The nerds in the back. Leo and Winston could both be seen as the level-headed ones, grounding the others. But these two? Only similarity I can think of is that 80s cartoon Raphael was as much a wisecracker as Dr. Venkman. Unless IDW's Raph has a PhD in psychology he never mentions. It was the best of times, it was the worst of times. That's right, this is a tale of two cities. But the twist is, they're both New York, separated by a dimensional wall. The pizza's pretty good in both universes. Although it does make the which original Rays is the real original debate even more heated. For the unfamiliar of either ongoing, they have some handy introductory pages with quick rundowns of each featured character, like their version of Kylie Griffin, whom some may remember was originally created for the short-lived Extreme Ghostbusters cartoon, or that Winston has an honorary doctorate. Good for him! We begin with exposition about three immortal siblings who ruled the Earth thousands of years ago, until they suddenly vanished. They'd only be remembered in myths and legends that were eventually created, and otherwise believed to have never existed at all. Behold, the ultimate tax dodge. In Japan during the Muromachi era, somewhere between the mid-1330s and early 1570s, one of these immortals, Kitsune, is at a shrine in front of a portal, when she senses the approach of her brother, Shiyo. He sensed the portal's magic from across the ocean, and wanted to ensure his dear sister was adhering to their agreement. And that's when the alien Krang emerges.
You've brought someone with you. This was not part of our deal. If he has to come to dinner with us, you're paying for his food. And I still only have the 2 tickets for Hamilton.
The Immortals had an extended game going on in the Turtles title, and summoning what he thinks is a demon breaks the rules, so Shiyo attacks, morphing into a bull-like form. Kitsune deftly avoids the strikes until throwing him into the portal, and according to Krang, who apparently created it, he ain't coming back. Thanks to certain safeguards, Shiyo has already been destroyed or is irretrievably stuck in limbo, leaving the two to finish up their business. Jump ahead to the present day, and a lab of reclusive scientist Harold Leisha, I think his last name is, but I could be wrong. He's worked with Donatello and April O'Neil on the creation of an interspatial teleportation device, based on schematics from an alien friend of theirs, and they think they've worked out all the bugs. What you so crudely describe as bugs, I call known discrepancies, all easily overcome when you possess the necessary genius. Necessary genius is also what I call my anger management crowbar. To demonstrate how effective the device is, they turn it on, April sets the coordinates, and Harold tosses in an apple, which shoots out of the exit behind Casey Jones and bonks him in the head. Donnie's actually used it himself, at short range, with no problems, so wants the gang to step through for a quick stop at their lair to surprise Master Splinter. Ever the inquisitive scientist, Donatello is curious what it's like to see a middle-aged, human-sized rat have a heart attack. As the machine is activated and a fly starts buzzing around Harold, the gang step onto the platform, though there are those with some reservations. Dude, I've seen this movie before. It don't end so good. What director's cut of Stargate did you watch? They all briefly appear in the lair while Splinter is tending to his Zen garden, but thanks to Harold finally killing that fly, he also accidentally flips a switch labeled Do Not Touch, and the device starts recalculating with the team disappearing in an instant, before Splinter could notice them. A problem caused by a bug. A little on the nose, but still pretty clever. In a different New York City, The Ghostbusters are after an unusually aggressive spirit, a purple beast with horns, fangs, and one enormous eyeball, surprising Egon. Sick of being passed over in favor of Sunny Delight, the purple stuff is out for revenge. The others snag him and bag him while Egon is collecting data on his back like a weird turtle, hint hint. As they pack up, Ray figures a Class 5 that tenacious either means a dimensional breach or a Class 7 ghost is afoot. Venkman reminds him of a fancy warning system Stans and Egon built to warn of such a thing, which has not gone off. Meanwhile, at the contradiction, Janine calls from the firehouse, and as you might have guessed, the device meant to pick up the approach of a Gozer-level threat has pinged. Kylie relays that there's a potential Class 7 on the east side, which is kinda what Janine tells the others, and they're en route. As for the other stars of the comic, Donny has punched in coordinates for an abandoned church they've used before, and his GPS, possibly modeled after a device from the original cartoon as an Easter egg, confirms that's where they are. Except it's not so abandoned, with a wedding currently in progress.
No one told me there'd be a performance.
Lucy always was a little weird. Figures she'd go non-traditional. Hey, if she really wanted a Ninja Turtle-themed wedding, the groomsmen would be wearing the appropriately colored masks, the officiate, or open-minded priest risking blasphemy, would be dressed as Master Splinter, Lucy herself would be wearing a yellow jumpsuit, and the groom would be wearing a hockey mask. Or possibly cosplaying Shredder if she nasty. On top of this, the ghost-free venue isn't. Seriously, they apparently have a paranormal oversight commission, which kinda makes sense if you're going to expand on the movieverse. Shi-Yo appears as a crimson-hued spirit, sensing something different about himself, like having more power, shooting lightning that narrowly misses the congregants. Casey figures they should have gone all Ninja Vanish! But Leonardo says they're honor-bound to help the innocent. Also, they've got nowhere to disappear to, because while the church looks the same, he figures they're in a different dimension. Didn't you notice how our designs are more angular than a couple pages ago? Keep up, Casey! Mikey, the team's linguist, I guess, doesn't know Chinese, so can't tell what the floaty guy is saying. But of course, Raphael opts to let his flying kick do the talking. Too bad it goes right through him like a bad gas station hot dog. Shi-Yo presumes these demons seek to capture him, which he don't like, so goes on the offensive, firing energy at the turtles as the wedding party runs away. Donny says it's categorically impossible that they're fighting a ghost, that this must be some manner of glitch, as he throws a shuriken at the enemy that was intangible to a kick to the chest. Gotta try something, I suppose. Casey is hit by one of Shi-Yo's blast, and the others fear he's dead. But no. His skin wrinkles like a zombie, signaling that he's under the villain's control, along with several guests who didn't make it out in time. Thanks to this connection, the warlord can speak English, and knows the turtles are mutants, not demons. But they're still going to try stopping his conquest of the world, so he'll use his new puppets to destroy them. As the ninja prepare to incapacitate the victims, the Ghostbusters enter after blasting a hole in the wall, because the doors were locked apparently. Man, that's going to be a lot of rosaries. Issue 2's cover features both teams literally in the shadow of their enemy, a glowing shadow at that, and we pick up with the Busters firing their proton wands, which Shi-Yo realizes can not only affect him, but through his possessed minions, realizes who these men are, and their intent to capture him. Then probably sanitize him with a much more cutesy design so he can be a bumbling comedic sidekick to their adventures. Again, not liking that idea, Shi-Yo decides to take his thrall and leave, and the guys think they still have the anthropomorphic turtle constructs to zap. But as the ninja dodge and appear more solid than spirit forms, while being far less aggressive than demons would be, that assumption is tabled as Winston starts a dialogue. April emerges from cover to get in their face, specifically Peter's, for using energy weapons near innocents, and that it's their fault the ghost escaped with Casey. And Ray recalls something about a Shi-Yo. Oh, right, Egon. Last week you sneezed and I forgot to say bless you, so bless you. He remembers him as a war god from way back when, and Egon's equipment detects that these strangers, much like their ghostly foe, are out of phase with this dimension, explaining the breach they detected. After some nerding out over their tech, Donny figures these guys could get them home and help Casey, which Dr. Stans is happy to oblige, and he can learn more about these beings from another Earth. How did you get here? Are there more like you in your dimension? Are you from Earth or are you aliens? What? No, we're mutants.
I don't understand the difference.
I know you don't. Get him out of here!
Ray quickly grasps the accident that landed them there, being just a fraction of a decimal off from their proper wavelength, which elates the turtle enough to show the schematics for the not Stargate for context. But hey, they forgot their introductions. April names her friends, and doesn't mess up this time.
I really have no idea, Leonardo.
I'm Donatello.
Sorry.
And Venkman, pointing out how handy it is they have color-coded masks, which I wonder may also be a nod to the real Ghostbusters cartoon, can't help but identify he and his colleagues as Renaissance artists too, just for fun. Though it does quickly give them their real names. They won't all fit in Ecto-1, but fortunately this Big Apple has the same layout as the Turtles' own, so an address is all they need to hoof it a couple of miles. Though I expect the Ghostbusters might get a call about their new friends on the way, like someone admitting he tried to hold up a woman in a yellow coat, only to be attacked by the ghosts of turtle cosplayers from Comic-Con's past. Not far away, and not sensing his immortal family or similar entities, Shiyo has decided the agreement to secretly influence mortals is null and void, and he'll be more direct in imposing his will, conquer this world and others, after he's had the mutants rebuild the machine that freed him. To that end, he'll need better warriors, so frees the wedding guests, though keeps Casey Jones for being more worthy than the fleeing civilians. The young man tries to fight the spirit's control, but gets smacked for it, ordering him to find more warriors like himself, as he shifts into his more bovine form. Man, this guy's become a real bully. The Turtles have arrived at the fire station, where Donny is marveling at the ghost-busting tech, while Egon takes a retro 80s scan of his brain. And Mikey gets to meet the far more intimidating version of Slimer. He's in a containment chamber that he can't escape from, but the Spud is still unnerving as he spooks Michelangelo real good. Does he have kidneys? I think I saw his kidneys.
Technically no, but, well, let's just say they're his kidneys now.
Donnie remains skeptical of the whole disembodied spirits thing, but Egon says that's what they bust, ghosts, and it doesn't make sense to deny something in the face of proof that it exists. Yet the turtle suggests perhaps these manifestations could be something else. Egon has a good point, showing he clearly doesn't use social media, but in Don's defense, he hasn't actually seen quantifiable proof. One incorporeal entity that influences the actions of physical beings could have a number of complex or complicated explanations, especially in comics, and there's hardly been time for the green dude to run through all the proper scientific processes to come to a conclusion. You better tell him to watch his step. He goes down this rabbit hole with Egon, he might wind up getting talked into trephination.
Trefa, huh? What the heck's that?
A little boring, actually. Well, I gotta give it up for that pun. Trephination is one of the earliest known surgical techniques, going way back to the Neolithic era. It involves boring a hole in someone's head to treat certain injuries, or in some cases, let out what were thought to be evil spirits. Yeah, I had to do some research to get that joke, but I'd say it was worth it. Donatello's guess for an alternative to Shiyo would be a parasite, potentially an alien one. Aliens don't exist.
I've met some!
And we've met ghosts. Feels a little soon to be remaking Don to Don, but maybe this version can avoid teenagers getting their clothes ripped off. Leo is about to intervene, but Winston says it's good for Egon to be challenged by someone that speaks his science-y language, and these two find commonality in keeping calm among chaotic teammates. April is trying to process the whole alternate Earth concept, and Casey's possession, so Janine offers her some coffee and words of wisdom, that nothing is so weird it can't be overcome. Which is why I have this. And this. And this. Kylie walks in with a tall stack of books she thinks could be of use, since the kind of info they deal in doesn't always lend itself to digitization. Ray backs that up with how vain and curious demonic forces can be. And if too many people happen to look them up at the same time on, say, a ghost wiki site or something, it could cause a sort of conjuring. And let's be honest, haven't there been enough of those movies already? At least with paper, that power is bound, limited, and has the added effect of giving certain ghosts, like Slimer here, a visceral reaction. recoiling in fear at books. I guess before he died, the Spud must have been a Florida politician. Ray takes Donatello aside, saying he understands skepticism to the supernatural. Yet, should a talking mutant turtle who built a machine that dropped him in an entirely different reality be seen as any less fantastic than ghosts? Heck, the core of living beings are essentially energy, and the afterlife is a matter of its direction and behavior. Food for thought, but right now, he opens a door, wanting to show Donatello something. This is where we stash the bodies. At Madison Square Garden, a standard fight between hockey players during a game is rudely interrupted by Shio. He selected the ice skating athletes for his army, and transforms the first of them into a monstrous creature, which takes more power than he expected. Casey didn't get such an unholy makeover because he's essentially bait, a means to get the turtles to reveal how to jump to different worlds, force them to cooperate rather than Shio having to link minds with lower life forms. If you know they have knowledge you want, something technologically advanced which Jones isn't savvy about, how much lower than humans can they be? You're a dumb ghost is my point. Ray presents the ecto-containment unit, where they keep the ghosts Donny doesn't believe in. Specifically, however, he wanted to show the self-contained power source. They likely have spare parts to rig up another teleportation device, and the containment unit's battery would be the best way to power it. After taking a gander, Donny thinks it could work when the alarm sounds off. Janine just talked with 911, who got a call about a bull-headed ghost at the hockey playoffs before they were cut off. I don't know, sounds like bull-pucky to me. With their friend likely there, however, Jones knew there were hockey playoffs in this dimension, the turtles insist on going along. Egon thinks they should stay and start on the new teleporter, since further analysis of their energy readings suggests their unique dimensional signatures are degrading. That's something probably vital to their ability to get back home, and if they don't return within about 3 days, maybe less, they could end up lost between realities forever. Since it took weeks for Donatello to build the first machine, with lots of help, Dr. Spangler could be right about this. Nevertheless, the turtles aren't going to sit around while they could be useful against Shio, so Ray equips Donatello with his spare proton pack, and the turtle just wants to know how it works. With a strange yellow and orange background. Uh-oh, faulty pack, it's about to explode! Hit the deck! If you survived, tune in next week to find out how our heroes save their enslaved friend and put the kibosh on this pesky poltergeist. I'm the Angry Spork, and man, have I got issues.